Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Short Sticks Podcast with your favorite M's, Mustafa Ayubi, Mustafa Kram, and Mustafa Halbouni. Have you received the short end of the stick? Let's start the show now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are finally back with the podcast, and hopefully this show, even though it's recorded, we are debuting, or we have just debuted our intro. So, an intro is coming to the Short Sticks. Are you excited?
Well, extremely. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm speaking in present tense now, but I'm hoping that it'll be completed.
The future tense happens.
Yeah, and that way the intro is played, and this recording takes place.
You know what's interesting? What? And I'm sure you both can agree with me. This is the first time that we've all sat down on the table since we've started this podcast wearing T-shirts.
I was going to say that. I think that's the first time I've seen you in a T-shirt.
Yeah, it's in a long time, hey?
I've only seen you in long sleeves,
Well, he just took off his jacket, and I got excited. Not in a derogative way.
Yeah, I thought...
No, more so because I felt like this energy was just about to come into the show.
Yeah, I thought, here we go.
Yeah, and
it's happening now.
I went from being at 20% to just right now, my mind is operating at 100%, and I want to take off my shirt.
No, don't take off. That's bad.
No,
you get excited from him taking off his jacket, then you take off your shirt. That's not things work, man. What's wrong with you?
So how's your week been? It's been a while since we've recorded the show. We've been very, very busy behind the scenes, haven't we? Some exciting things coming.
Graham's been extremely busy. He's been bragging about it all week, how busy he's been.
I'll tell you why.
He's been quite upset at us, though.
He has. But you know what? He's putting in a lot of effort. I can't wait to see this intro. He's put a lot of effort into we have an exciting logo that might be coming up soon.
You know,
logos for going to follow up some merchandise soon. That's just one thing after the other.
Merchandise?
Not soon. Man, even if it's not for sale, merchandise for myself. Wow. I'm going to start putting this logo everywhere on my clothes.
I might put it on my ceiling, so every time I go to sleep, I look at the Short Sticks.
You take a photo of Halbouni without a jacket.
It's already
and
there.
Stick it on the ceiling.
Oh, no, I don't think his mother would be happy walking into that bedroom and seeing my photo there.
Do you know once I was about 24 and I made my first wardrobe?
Yeah. Oh, you made it?
Yeah.
You literally
he made it. I bought it off him.
Okay, I thought he helped you make it, so he taught you how to make it.
No, he made it for me. But he told me back then that there was this new machine back then, and he said I can write anything you want on the
wardrobe,
on the door.
Yeah,
anything. I told him writing engraved. I told him write for me King K.
I remember that. He told me that a long time ago.
We wrote King K on the wardrobe. My uncle comes from Lebanon, and he's tripping out. He's like, "Shuhada, what is that?
Who writes on their wardrobes? Who gets it engraved?" It's like a Nike a T-shirt.
That's right.
Nike shoes up on.
He said it in Arabic English, King K. And then we were moving houses.
Yeah.
So he literally opened the door of the wardrobe. He's like, come. He took a photo, him and I, and he had to send it to everyone in Lebanon.
Was I the one that took that photo?
You helped us move that day.
Your wardrobes have affected everyone's lives.
Yeah, in a positive way.
Yeah. Before I got married, maybe by a month or two, I called Halbouni. And you know what? I need a wardrobe for my bedroom. I don't even think he remembers that.
No, I don't.
You know that. Yeah. You did a very special wardrobe for your dad, I think, at the time, or whoever it was.
I think my uncle.
Yeah, that is a very special wardrobe. This like 2-story wardrobe. So it's got doors and doors on top of doors.
We just gave his business a plug.
Yeah, we didn't mention what the business was, but anyhow, it's deserving because that wardrobe was off tap.
Yeah.
So,
you guys need to pay me if you give my business a plug.
So I don't need a picture of Halbouni without a T-shirt, without a jacket. I've got the wardrobe to remind me of him every day.
Speaking of being reminded of something, I realised that over the last month on a Saturday or Sunday, I've been travelling on an express train, and it's put a lot of things in perspective.
All right, Harry Potter.
You know that this train was made in 1984?
See how he said it? Every weekend I go on this express train.
The last month.
Yeah.
The Bismarck, we fucking is going to Hogwarts.
Yeah, I know. It was the hour.
But it's about a 2 hour and 45-minute trip.
Oh, wow, to Newcastle.
Yeah, but past that as well. Depends.
2 hours and 45. Man, I would have thought it would have been. Oh, but you know what? In the car, that would have been 6 hours, wouldn't it?
No. In the car, 6 hours.
How long? I don't know. I'm asking.
Oh, you've never been in Newcastle?
I have. I don't remember the timing. How long
2
did it
hours.
take?
2 hours.
2 hours and a half.
Yeah.
So it's quicker to go by car.
Yeah, but I go there for a reason.
You go by train for
Yeah.
a reason.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is it,
fair enough.
I thought it would be quicker through the express train.
In the car?
Me too. I thought it would have
the
been like
car?
half the time.
No, the car, because you can go faster. And
So you break-
there's a couple of stops.
In the train.
Yeah. There's a couple of stops on the train. But anyway, what's allowed me... the last time I caught a train was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And being on this express train, even though it was made in 1984, there's a bathroom, like a proper bathroom.
Yeah.
There's a cafe.
There's a cafe in the train.
There's a cafe.
Now I want to go on a train just to try the coffee. Is it all right?
I didn't order the coffee.
They sell cakes and...
He only has proper barista made coffee.
Campos.
Yeah,
and
they
whatnot.
had because the
almond milk,
sachets.
almond milk, and what half fill, half.
No,
Three quarter
Three-quarter
full almond
full.
milk
No,
cappuccino.
the standard
Yeah.
coffee now is a small extra
2
shot.
sachets of stevia. Sorry, man. It's been a long time. I just missed
It
this.
has.
I missed it.
I've missed it as well. We
Yeah.
all have. And my point is, on that train, I was doing a lot of reflecting. A lot of reflecting.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't realize, like, we are grateful for a lot of things in this life.
Like your laptop. Tell us about your laptop.
I take my laptop on the train.
Tell us.
There's an
Yeah.
actual, the food thing where you eat.
Like a tray where you can sort of.
No, the tray.
Yeah.
I put my laptop on the tray. It's actually very, very comfortable. And the scenery, like just seeing the scenery, because I might leave at 5:40 in the morning.
Are there like power outlets you can charge your laptop and stuff?
No, because 1984.
Oh yeah.
But it's
They
still,
weren't thinking about
Laptops back then.
devices back then.
No.
But for example, last week I went, it was all foggy. We went on a bridge and the river was all foggy.
Wow.
It's just, I thought in that
That's
time.
nice though, man.
Yeah.
You do get to reflect in that time. You go on early morning too, aren't
Yeah,
you?
beautiful early morning.
Yeah.
And it just caused me to think that we are living in very disturbing times, unfortunately, and it's getting better. But also what helps is being grateful for what you have.
For sure, man.
Because you find yourself in this life, you're just running. And it's just a constant vicious cycle. But when you just slow down a bit and you think, what are the things that you are grateful in this life? And I'm grateful for a lot of things.
Man, can you imagine if someone sits down and every day he remembers something,
5 things.
he writes it down?
Yeah.
I think he'll be an extremely happy person by the end of the week.
Happier in life. Much
And
more
content.
happier.
And I've seen that on Cream, if that makes sense.
Where are you trying to go with this? So you
I don't know
mentioned
what
it
you've
twice.
been doing lately, but I don't know if it's the train trips. But when I speak to you, I feel he's more calm.
Happier?
He's happier with less. So it's nice. It's refreshing.
It's a big change.
Yeah, he
We
wasn't ready for that.
wonder what's been happening behind the scenes with Mustafa Karim. Hey,
I don't know if you got him married or something. I don't know.
No.
No.
Look,
if he got married, you would know.
I know.
I think maybe the train trips.
Yeah.
But you have been talking about things that you appreciate in your life.
Yeah.
So where are you trying to get with this?
What I'm trying to say
Or
is
where are you
that
trying to go?
the train trips, it's a working thing that I do, but the positive out of it is the reflecting I do on the train.
That's nice.
And how it's caused me to wake up every morning, unless I forget, but most mornings, and say to myself, I'm grateful for a number of things in my life. And it's changed my relationships with people. It's changed my relationship with my mother to the better. It was good.
But it gave you that extra boost that, you know what, I'm happier, I'm happier with my surroundings.
Yeah.
I accept what I have.
Yeah.
I like what I have, actually. Man, I think we're blessed, man. We live a very nice lifestyle, like in comparison to others. Like, look, just the corona. Take all this pandemic that's happening around the world. Even first world countries, you go there, they're doing very bad. Like, look at the US. They're all over the place. You know what's going on there anymore. How many people infected? How many people so-called died from it? The riots going on over there. Look at Melbourne. How long have they been locked up?
I was speaking to my uncle from Kuwait just earlier today, and he was telling me that 400,000 people have left Kuwait
Left.
in the past year.
Yeah.
They left, so obviously not the actual citizens of Kuwait.
No, the workers there.
In Kuwait,
My cousin
the
used to work
actual
there.
citizens are only about a million.
Yeah.
And then the people that actually work around Kuwait, they amount to about 3 million or 2 million or something. And 400,000 of those 2 million left.
Yeah.
They left the country.
They left the country.
Yeah.
So
What do you
that's
mean?
a big portion of the working class. Because,
Yeah.
you know, in Kuwait, they're all rich.
They're not used to
They
working.
don't work.
They don't
in
know how to
Kuwait.
work.
They're very, very, very wealthy, and the government takes extremely good care of their citizens. So
And they wouldn't even grant citizenship to anyone. So
No,
it's not
they
like
don't. No,
you
no,
worked there for
no.
20 years. By any time they can tell you, know what?
no,
Stuff
even
your
if
visa, see you later.
marriage or kids, they don't give you any.
No,
they
that's
won't
right.
give you a single thing, and that's how they've been able to preserve the wealth of their economy and able to provide their citizens with so much benefits. They have so many benefits.
Far out, but can you imagine that, man? Like almost a third of their working classes just
Yeah.
disappeared.
So now, for those people that are not citizens, they're extremely affected by this. Extremely, in terms of finances, work,
Yeah,
and
man.
everything like that, and they don't receive the benefits that the citizens do.
No, I know that because my cousin, that happened to him. He used to work in Kuwait, I think, for almost 10 years. It's a long time since I was a kid. So he just suddenly, they told him, you know what, sorry, doesn't have more work for you. Your visa's gone, even though you've been living here so long. His daughter was born in Kuwait. They go to him, oh, that doesn't mean anything. She doesn't get anything. So they sent him back to his country with nothing, man.
So when she's born there, what citizenship does she hold? Her
As
home
far,
country?
as far as I know, her home country. I don't know if she's allowed to reapply when she becomes an adult. But as far as I know, that they didn't accept, even though he got married there and his daughter was born there. He had to go back.
Sorry, boys, I missed that part of the conversation because I was
Yeah,
just
we
speaking
noticed,
to Mark Hunt. I sent him a photo of us.
Yeah.
He was scheduled to come in tomorrow, but he's got important training, maybe a bit of a training camp sort of thing.
Oh, man,
So-
I've seen him riding his bike. I hope he comes on the bike.
Oh, he
Whenever he
wakes
comes
up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah, but have you seen his Harley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His wheels popped the other
Yeah?
day, yeah. It was funny. He just took a photo and said,
Sounds
"My
like
wheels
a bum chums with the bloke.
I just sent him a photo of us, and he said that he would love to rearrange another time.
We'll get him on.
It's
We'll
going to
get
be
him on.
it's going to be very exciting.
He
once
really
does
wants to
on.
come on the show. He loves the studio and he wants to spread the word as well. But there's a potential fight maybe which I want to ask him with Paul Gallen if it's going to happen. I hope he punches.
Are you serious?
Not for anything, but
So
Gallen,
he hasn't retired.
it's not that he's retired.
Semi-retired?
He's not in MMA anymore.
Yeah, oh yeah,
He's not affiliated with UFC.
Yeah, he can't. He's on the.
We've
other
seen
side
his
of the
10-minute phone call
Yeah.
Oh man,
and where that went.
he's really
Do
pissed.
you know he put a photo last week? Do you know he main evented the first ever main event card in Mexico with Cain Velasquez, who was a former world champion. Him and Cain were the main event in Mexico. So he broke the Mexican market with Cain Velasquez.
Apparently, there's a fight between what's his name? What's that boxer's name? That famous one?
Mayweather?
Yeah, Mayweather and that YouTuber.
No.
YouTuber.
Logan Paul?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
No way.
They're saying that.
That's boxing's dead. Boxing's finished.
Yeah, man.
Boxing's dead.
Yeah, it's finished.
Why? Because of UFC?
No, the way it's run, it's just every fight card they do, it's just let's make as much money as we
Yeah.
can because we're going bankrupt.
4 hours ago, Logan.
Mayweather's 43 years old, and they're still the names come back to surface again
Just for
because there's no
numbers?
there's no stars, there's no one. It's just dead. There's only Canelo. Mike Tyson's coming back.
There's no more Muhammad. No.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in shape.
Yeah, bro. They're saying they've confirmed it.
Actually, I've been watching some videos about him lately.
You know that video that you
training.
watched?
Yeah.
He was in bed for 1 week after that video. he said it
Why?
because he hasn't touched a thing since he retired in 04.
Well, they need another
he was
Muhammad Ali
overweight.
to come along.
Yeah, they need
Bro,
me
I don't
to
know
put
why
on the
they would do that for,
But
man.
Did you hear that?
That's no, I didn't hear because I'm trying to pull up the news for him to confirm.
Well, I was saying that we need another Muhammad Ali to come along
Oh,
to
he
boost
just-
the boxing industry. Guys,
He promoted
Yes,
himself, did
they
he?
need me. Just give me a glove.
One glove.
You know, I reckon I'll last 1 minute in round one and I would just be finished.
All right, so this lunatic Logan Paul is actually going up against Mayweather this year, very soon.
I don't think so.
That's what they said. It's announced.
How come?
I don't know. Mind you, Logan Paul he's an actual professional boxer now. I don't know how he became a pro.
He fought a YouTube star.
But he fought 2 fights. He lost one. against another YouTuber, and he won another.
I reckon he took a shitload of steroids. His body, he was jacked. He went from being a skinny white ass American to being jacked.
But he's a horrible fighter anyway. So I don't like. It's just
he was wearing headgear.
How are they going to advertise this fight?
No, I don't
come see this loser against this.
It might be just a comic.
Yeah, exhibition comic where he'll just run amok on him.
Because he's become very, very popular, this Logan Paul. So
he has.
His brother as well, yeah.
And
both of them.
Isn't Mayweather known for blowing money?
Yeah.
So he's known, even though he's got so much money, he's always broke because that's what I hear.
His spending habits, if his watch costs $2 million.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
so he's out to get anything. It's an easy fight for him.
But he can easily do the Conor rematch and that'll explode.
But he doesn't want to lose.
You know, Saudi offered Habib to fight Mayweather.
So isn't that Khabib or Habib? So
Habib.
Is it?
They say
why's
Khabib
there K?
because in Russian.
They
offered him $100 million to fight Mayweather. And do you know what he said?
Habib against Mayweather.
Yeah.
$50 million.
$100 million.
$100 million.
Do you know what he said?
That's a lot of money.
I'll fight him for $100 million.
Not all of it's for him.
But do you know what he said? He said, "What do I need all that money? What do I need all that money for? What am I going to do with that money?"
Oh wow!
I'll fight him for less.
Yeah, he said that.
I'll fight him for free.
He said, "I'll fight him for less." But he said, "What?" But look, through my reflecting, I need to finish that point. I started to begin to think of a lot of the evil people in the world, and some of them are your friends.
Evil people that are your friends, or
Initially.
that make themselves out to be your friends.
No, initially they'll be your friends,
Okay.
but then you'd realize that they are a part of that batch of evil people.
Yeah.
And one thing that's a phenomenon is gossip.
Okay.
Is there more?
I'm waiting for you
Oh,
guys.
you went because your face looked like I've got the hook. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, but I usually this guy might interject with. Bang.
I'm
But I don't
gonna
want to cut you off
yeah.
because you looked so serious.
Yeah, that's
No, but
the
I
same here.
paused.
All right, can I interject?
Yeah, I love how he's asking for permission.
Because you seem so serious about his interjection, so I don't want to.
Did you see how he said it as if it's a negative thing about me?
Yeah.
No. Positive. It was positive.
Anyhow, so
It's huge, especially in the workplace.
gossip.
Yeah.
In the workplace?
Bro.
Not just the workplace.
Everywhere.
On Earth.
People breakfast on gossiping.
I know. Literally.
People wake up and the first phone call in the morning, instead of being grateful for what they have, did you see what Mustafa did to me last night?
Yeah.
Or did you see what such and such said? Or look at this person, what
I'm
they're
not trying
wearing,
to.
what they're
Yeah,
doing, how they...
I'm not trying to say anything, but did you also notice how he was looking at me?
Yeah, no, that's true. Man, I know sessions, I'm not kidding, that they establish the session. They go, you know what, we're going to go hang out in the morning, like you said, for breakfast, because they know that's where they go and gossip. I know family relatives that hang out daily, not daily, on the weekend, without fail, every weekend, and I can tell you for sure, none of them like each other.
And they only hang out because they talk about other
7
people.
ladies and 7 men, they're all married couples.
Why do they
go-
hang out with each other?
Because they all talk garbage about one another or other people. That's all they do. That's all they do.
You
Unbelievable.
know, I know a lot of people that only associate with each other because they talk about the same people.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
So
Same
they
here.
don't even like each other, or
No.
they. If you remove the gossip from their
They won't hang out.
life, they won't hang out.
And even
That's the sad part.
even you notice that on yourself. Like, let's say someone knows themselves they commit gossip or had committed gossip. He was in one of these sessions. If he was to say to the people, you know, hang on, guys, you guys are talking garbage. It's all poop. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to do this horrible shit. If he says that, the people start talking bad about him.
Yeah, as soon as
They'll turn on him.
Look at this guy.
Yeah, they'll say, "Oh, who's invited him?"
Yeah.
And who gave him the opportunity to give his 2 cents?
Yeah. They'll literally they'll pound.
Look, to me, gossip can be, well, gossip is, it's destructive and an absolute deplorable act. It's deplorable.
Well, look, I know for a fact,
Yeah.
based on a lot of things that I've read, that gossip has ruined lives, ruined families, ruined relationships, and it's ruined people because it's not just about the people that actually gossip. It's about what happens to those people that have the fear of gossip, the fear of people talking about them, or the fear of someone's saying something about them.
Insecurity.
Oh, they're very insecure. They're very anxious, and
so they feel if someone spoke about them.
They tiptoe their life around being worried that they're going to be gossiped about.
Because it becomes like an episodic show. So, for example, your name might get brought up with a group of people, and then it becomes a weekly episodic show.
Yeah, man. I used to work with a guy. He did my head in, and I can't exaggerate. He did my head in bit, and every worker that worked with him had the same complaint. He did our head in without fail. This guy won't come to work as the boss. Fair enough. See you later. Don't come to work. We'll do the work. Whenever he does come to work, I kid you not, you get to the stage, you be like, I think it's time to work. You're telling the boss it's time to work. All he wants is to talk about other people. All he wants to tell you, oh, look at what that builder did. Look at what his mum did.
Look how much money they owe me.
Look what, man, non-stop. I'm not kidding. As a worker, he'd look at the boss and go, you know what? I think it's time to move on. How about we go to do some work? Your ears are about to explode. Yeah. And man, once, I'm not kidding, one guy goes to him, man, how about you? He goes to him, man, leave it. We're talking about people. It's gossip. You know what he said? He turned around and he goes, yeah, who's gossiping? Oh, he didn't even recognize himself as he's talking garbage about other people.
He becomes delusional.
Yeah. He thinks, he's just having a convo now. What do you mean? He sat there, kid you not, talking about a bloke for around 8 hours at a time. It was a Saturday. I'll never forget. It was a Saturday. On the whole Saturday for around 8 hour shift.
He sat there talking about the
same bloke. At the end of it, he goes to me, yeah, but I love him. I go, man,
but that's such a cliche.
You tore him apart.
What about something this just as bad or maybe even worse? When people or when someone tries to put two people against each other.
Oh man,
tail bearing.
Yeah,
man, that is such a disgusting trait to have.
You know what that links to, tail bearing?
What?
We said that usually people gossip with another person, but often it's in groups.
Yeah.
When someone tries to get out of the norm of the group, he becomes a subject of gossip.
Or you know what it is? I'll make it easier. I know it. I think I have. Let me say it my way and tell me if that makes sense in accordance to you. Yeah. Is the person that's trying to stir up shit between A and B? Is this person just a loner? So he really wants to gossip, but no one likes him anymore. So he's become a loner. So he goes, "No, I want to bring more friends."
That's true.
It's a mental sickness, man.
What I was referring to is that there's a group of people, but one decides to. He decides to
go
violate,
solo.
He decides to violate the norm of the group, which is gossiping.
Yeah.
What happens to him? He becomes the subject of the gossip.
Yeah.
So they're all friends. Then one pulled out and said, "Look, I want to violate this gossiping code that we have because it's sessions of gossip." And to them, he's violated the norm of the group. By him doing that, when he goes,
they speak about him.
Then he becomes the subject, and that's tail bearing. Because others might not realize it and say each to their own, but then you have that one person.
Ugh.
You see how he thinks he's cooler than us?
Yeah.
He's like, look at me, I don't want to talk about anyone anymore. He's been doing it with us for weeks.
It's not allowed to improve and say, I want to become a better person. That's the stage just as low as they are.
Yeah, so that was my point. He becomes the subject of the gossip.
Yeah.
And that's when tail bearing, one of the many ways that tail bearing can occur.
And you know, I don't know if you guys noticed this, honestly. I've noticed that the same way someone lies or the same way someone even swears. See how some people start using swear words a lot? And due to the lack of education or vocabulary or whatever it is, they start using less and less words and becomes and I've seen some educated people go from being educated to almost losing their vocab, man. He's talking to you every second word's an F word. So it becomes a habit, becomes a sickness. And if you tell them stop swearing, a lot of them, what they tell you, they go, I can't.
Or they don't even realize that they were swearing.
And I kid you not. So I've seen that with people that lie. So it becomes habitual. So it becomes a habit. And human beings are creatures of habit. So if it becomes a habit, he lies until it becomes a compulsive liar. Same with gossip. It becomes a compulsive gossiper. I've met a 60-year-old. He was 60 back then. No, he died, man. He's an old man. I'll never forget this guy. We're sitting, me and a few friends. You know, we don't want to gossip anyone. We're sitting there, we're just having fun, mucking around between each other, having a barbecue. It was a barbecue that day. This guy starts talking about other people. I look at him. He's one of the boys. You know, he's educated. He wanted to respect himself. He goes to him. He mentioned his name. He goes to him. You know what? Leave it. This is gossip. Don't worry about it. It's not nice. Leave the guy alone. He's sitting there talking about him behind his back to like 50 people. Then the guy goes, "Oh yeah, you're right." He stopped. Man, like 5 seconds later, he goes again. They told him a good 6 or 7 times in a row, "Stop gossiping. This is not nice. Now you're making us all uncomfortable because we like the guy you're talking about. So this is uncomfortable. This is very rude. It's become very rude for everybody around you." He goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry." He started crying. He goes, "I can't stop." He goes, "It's become such a bad in front of us, man." This bloke started crying.
Do you think that
what
gossip?
an example.
Do you think that gossip, to your point, becomes self-serving?
I don't know what it is, man. For him, it became compulsive, habitual. He's an old man.
He needed to do it. It's the only way he knew how to hold a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's very scary.
Do you think it's self-serving?
Well, I don't know if we can consider it self-serving. I think it's more they don't have a choice. They do have a choice, but they don't know how to make a different choice. They think this is what they know, and that's what they keep on doing.
And they've been doing it since they were, some of them teenagers, if not younger. So if they're 60, 70 years old.
Do you know how you just mentioned they were doing it since they were younger? I knew a group of people when I was young.
It sounds like we hang out with a bunch of bucket people.
Might be the same person.
Look, you find that often with a lot of people, a portion of everyday conversation is actually consumed by malicious gossip.
Yeah, man.
Unintentionally as well, because it became so habitual.
Yeah.
But anyway, from a young age in high school, and I still remember, he'd come up to me and whisper in my ear and say about him.
Yeah.
This guy next to me. He'd say, "Look at him, he's such a show-off."
About Halboni.
I'm not joking, yeah. He'd come up to me in my ear randomly. I'm very competitive. And we weren't as close then, but we knew each other and we were friends. And at a young age, he'd say, I swear, he'd whisper in my ear and say, like a devil whispering, he'd say, "He's such a show-off. It's all about me. He just wants all the attention."
And me, I'm sitting there lawahdi.
You know what? You know what's funny? I've never seen you like that. Like, I've never taken, even when you were a stranger to me, I've never had that impression of you.
Yeah, it was in high school, but,
But I've never seen him like, this guy's a show-off.
it started
I've
at a
never had
young
that
age.
image.
My point is that the person doing it,
I've always seen him to himself. Like, he doesn't care about others. He's just there. Like, you're
But
happy, not happy.
It doesn't end there.
I can't do much for you.
The most trustworthy, loveliest guy in the room, in the classroom, he'd come up to me and say, "He's a faker."
Oh, wow.
He told me, "You know that guy? He's a Rami. He's a faker. He's faking it."
Someone talk shit about Rami. I'm going to go.
Yeah. Anyway,
Literally.
Someone spoke bad about Rami.
Yeah.
but it will be like that.
Rami's been a highlight of a few of our podcasts. You better be listening.
He better be coming to the show soon. Out of, man, whoever doesn't know Rami's just like, how do you explain Rami? It's like a mud cake. And there's nothing not sweet about him.
But a grey one.
Yeah.
He's sweet on the outside, confusing on the inside. That's about it.
I don't think he's ever going to come on the show. And he would just continuously do that. But then after, once he got to me, I was young, he actually got me so angry.
Oh, he got to you.
He got to me.
He played with your head.
For no reason. أنا مسكين
Yeah. You're the poor guy. Yeah.
Where I wanted to fight him.
What do they say in Lebanon? They say the cat ate his dinner. You're that person.
I went and approached him in person, and I wanted to have a fight with him.
Randomly.
But do you see how something so small, being consistent, can actually get to him? And the funny thing is, that person that did the gossiping is sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Because that person that spoke to him after he came up to me and said, "Oh, I feel sorry for you."
This is no joke. At a young age. And then he told me that.
What a sad human being.
He was very inquisitive at a young age. Yeah. So then he realized after we fought, he came and spoke to me. He's like, "I just want to understand."
Who won the fight?
No, we didn't get physical. But
it was a verbal confrontation, just like you usually see us.
Who won the
it was much stronger than that.
Who won it?
You know the answer to that.
Yeah.
The
politician.
I'll tell you why the politician won the verbal confrontation.
That's not becoming a label, okay?
Googie, remember Googie? Do you know why he won it?
What?
Because his responses, I had nothing to say because it was just someone whispering in my ears for about a month, trying to aggravate me to make sure I don't get close to him. After that session happened, we became close as ever, and the tables turned on that person because then we stood from afar.
We didn't gossip about him though.
But we just watched how he'd go from group to group and try to segregate groups from a young age.
Yeah, like I said, man, I don't know if it goes back to him being insecure and feeling like if I do that and I try to separate him, this guy will trust me, so he'll think I'm close. This guy will trust me, he'll think I'm close. So it's sort of him, that's how he forms bonds.
Well, it became self-serving where it's benefiting him.
You know what's upsetting?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's insecurity, it's sickness in the heart.
I think so.
You know what's upsetting though?
What?
When you see that sort of gossip or those sort of actions genuinely affect families. Like we're talking husbands, wives, daughters, sons, all affected, and let even younger families that have younger children affected by this because you have the husband's friends or the wife's friends gossiping about certain things or certain traits about their partner or just anything like that would cause spite between the two people. And the sad thing is it happens so often.
It's too much.
You look at some people and think, is your day job ruining people's lives?
Is someone paying you to do this?
Honestly, because you just think, why would you do that? What's the purpose?
Haven't you noticed, like, it's gone as sad as, like, as far as sometimes a wife talks bad about her husband. The husband talks bad about his children. The wife goes to her mum and starts talking bad about her husband. Then she goes to the husband, talks bad about her mum. So it becomes a vicious cycle.
And then what happens to their relationship?
And that's half a problem. It's even worse when they go and they talk to strangers or they talk to their friends and their friends tell their friends. And
if there's no trust in the inner circles, and as inner as you get, man, once there was a funny story. You know Simon Sinek? He's a motivational speaker.
The glasses guy?
Yeah, very famous dude. Halbun, if you see him, probably know him by looks. This guy was hired. He gets hired by these major companies. He gives like motivational speaking and he teaches managers how to be managers and whatnot. He got hired by Microsoft at a stage and he got hired by Apple at a stage. So he was amongst the board members of Microsoft. He goes, he wants to test them to see the mentality and how far they will go. So he goes to them, he goes, oh, did you see the product that Apple came up with? The new iPod that does such and such. It's so good. It's so nice. I hear such good things about it. So apparently, according to what he said, he goes, the Microsoft team was so pissed off. They go, oh, but our one's better. Look at what we can do. They started trying to shit talk Apple, that their products are better. Then he went to Apple when he was hired by them at that stage. He goes to Apple. He goes, oh, just see what Microsoft's done. They had some sort of music player that was out that time. He goes, look at their ones. It's said to be better than your iPod and whatnot. And Apple goes, oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't like talking about that stuff here. We just like improving our products. So they're full shutting down. They go, you know what? We are focused on our goal. We really don't give
looking at the
two poops as to what's happening around us.
Wow, look at the difference in...
And now Apple is a multi-trillion-dollar company, man. It's huge.
What about Microsoft?
Microsoft's big. I'm not saying Microsoft.
They're too busy making vaccines.
Oh, this guy. There is. When I go on there.
but let's not get into it because Bill Gates doesn't have a seat on the Microsoft board
because
anymore.
he stepped up in the vaccine world.
Oh no!
Anyway, you know what you're saying. How the two companies were driven. One was completely affected by it, and the other one had disregard to all that comment. Yeah. Do you think that some people gossip because they need information?
Yeah, man. I think, honestly, I think it's a form of entertainment. That's how it starts off, and then they see the things they get from it. So some people, they become sick in the head, and they see that I feed off this type of information that, you know what, I feel that 5 minutes that I'm discussing with people, other people's problems or other people's issues, I feel so secure about myself. I feel so good. I feel
like a sense of gratitude.
I feel like, look how much info I can give to others. So they think I'm cool. So they think, oh, they're all listening to me. I think it's a lack of education, man. Because imagine like a doctor that's educated and he's got heaps to talk about to educate others, or a teacher or something like that. He's got things to teach human beings around him. He's sitting there in the sessions where he's left everything beneficial and he's teaching people garbage. So, but if someone's educated, I think there's a higher chance that he won't go there.
Speaking of that,
because he feels fulfilled. He feels secure. He doesn't have that insecure.
Speaking of educating, I was teaching, and even as young as 8 or 12, as young as 9 years old, 9 to 10 years old, gossip starts in such a trivial way, and you can see it through some kids, whether they get it from their parents or their cousins or their uncles. And do you know what I do?
The parents.
Do you know what I do? I literally stop the whole session, and I stand from afar. I told them we are not continuing until you sort it out without talking about each other. Like instantly from afar, you'll see two kids talking, they have disagreement. That kid would automatically go to the other person
and start
and
having a go.
complain, and then that person would G that kid up to get revenge.
So it goes from gossip to tail bearing to
I'm not joking. Yeah. That's what happened. And then I monitored it. I actually monitored it and said, let me see if they said they sorted it out in front of me, these young kids. I went to the lunch to see what would happen, and the fight nearly escalated at a young age.
Wow.
Well, look, what do you expect when these things have become so prevalent in society? And the worst aspect of it is that the parents encourage it in the household instead of teaching their kids against it.
Yeah.
There's so many parents. I know parents that gossip about their spouse to their kids. A father that will talk about his wife to his son or daughter or vice versa.
Because he's pissed off at his wife.
What are you going to expect your kids to learn from you when you do that? And how much respect are they going to end up having for both of you by the time they get to the
Can you imagine it actually gets to him, the gossip, or her, the child that is? If that, let's say the dad's so pissed off, him and his wife had a fight, he goes to them, to his children, oh, look what your mum did, she's such and such, she does such and such, she's a horrible human being. Like you said, imagine it gets to him. You see in divorce issue, when a divorce happens nowadays, a lot of the children take side. And I think a lot of that happens from there. We met with a school principal because of someone we know, and there was a divorce that happened, and the family was involved. The principal, the first thing he said, I wish the father never spoke in front of his son about his ex-wife before the divorce happened, after the divorce happened. He goes, I wish he never did. He goes, all his son does at school now is come, cry, and say, my mum was horrible, and my mum did such and such in the playground, man. And the teachers come and have to comfort him and whatnot. So now, other than the fact that this child has to deal with the trauma of his parents splitting up, he has to deal with the trauma that he thinks, because he lives with his dad, he thinks his mum's a horrible human being. So now he, as a teenager, has to grow up thinking, my mum is a horrible person.
You know, it comes back to the
child. It makes it harder for him to connect later.
Yeah,
man.
It's funny because
gossip.
I had a very, very funny example of exactly what you said. 11-year-old. 11-year-old, he's not upset emotionally. It seems as if that his parents have gone through a divorce.
Yeah.
But I told him, is everything okay? I know your parents have gone through a divorce, just checking with him. He just looks at me, very outspoken young kid. He says, I don't know what's wrong with my mum. My dad works full time. He pays all the bills. He provides for her.
You can hear the recording, like as if his dad's talking.
I can hear it. He's like, I'm going to have a chat to her tonight. And I said,
just tell him to settle down. You're 11 years old.
I said,
go play.
I went quiet.
PlayStation or something.
I wanted to see where he's a streamer to this kid. Yeah. I wanted to see where is it going. He's like, I want to have a chat with her because he gives her money. He gives me money. He's got a roof under our heads.
But that's not what people. Maybe that's not the happiness.
At least he's appreciating son.
He's like, he works hard. and
gives me money, gives her money. That's
it.
And then he's like, and she sits here saying that she wants a divorce. I don't know what's wrong with her.
What's wrong with this lady?
Yeah, he said, I don't know what's wrong with her.
What a package.
But what has this child been listening to or being exposed to just to have that view where
11 years old,
where I didn't get why she's overdoing it for.
Man, I heard this story in the past, a long time ago. They said about a guy. They used to say about him, he's one of these people that's in the history books. They said about him that once he was going to the judge that was in charge of the area, he got to divorce his wife. On the way to get divorced, she was still his wife, hasn't filed for divorce yet. They had heaps of issues. So as on the way there, he goes to people come up to him, they go to him, oh, what'd you do to you? Why are you divorcing her for? He looks at the people and goes, are you crazy? He goes, you think I'm going to talk bad about her? You think I'm going to gossip this lady? Whatever she did. It's between me and her. So it's finished. And I'm going to go divorce. That's it. I go my way. She goes her way. And that's it. There's no happiness between us. So he went divorced and came back. They go to him. Then they saw him on the way. They go, oh, you've divorced now. Tell us what she's done at least. It's gone. She's not your wife anymore. You've submitted for divorce. It's done. He goes, are you crazy? You think I'm going to talk bad about a lady that used to be my wife?
What?
Yeah. So he goes, you think I'm going to talk about my ex-wife? He goes, so he's that clever to know that this lady is the mother of my children, even if I divorce her. I don't want to give the image to anyone in public or to my children that she's a bad person. If she did something to me, or if we weren't compatible, a lot of human beings aren't compatible towards each other.
Reflective on our...
Yeah, so let's say I go home, my objectives in life are differ to my wife's. Sooner or later, they might change. I don't know, the connection might be lost, whatever it is. It doesn't mean that she's a bad person, I'm a bad person. I have no right to go to my children and teach them to go against their mum. Oh, she's done this, she's done that, and I've paid and I've done... No, man, that's not what life is.
It's crazy.
That's not the package of marriage is.
He was talking as if he's 25 years old and he's going to advise his mum that night.
So sad, man.
And he was in year 6.
He doesn't even know what life's about.
Yeah.
He literally doesn't know how to even... He's probably never had a job. He hasn't. He's 11 years old.
Yeah. Don't you think that now with the advancements of technology, gossip is also... It's no longer in a confined, hushed environment.
Yeah, man. Man, you got gossip and bullying now online.
Cyberbullying is huge. There's actual professional athletes.
That's so sad.
Professional athletes, because they grew up as millennials. So they're born in the 2000s, they're 25, 24, 23.
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s
whatever it is.
Or early 20s. So they grew up with technology.
Early 20s. Has to be early 20s. If they're born 2000s.
Yeah. They're familiar with technology. They grew up with it compared to their fathers who were ex-footballers who wouldn't read the paper. When someone writes something about them in the paper, they wouldn't care.
Even if they did, like, I've got work. I'm too busy for this idiot.
I don't care for his opinion. Doesn't worry me. Anyway, where they are falling to... They're victims to trolls online. Like, I know a friend... Wow. It's silly, but I know a friend who... this guy's just walked in with an Uber. It better be nice food. It's got your name on it too. Is there anything for me?
Mate, I've seen you so upset today.
I wasn't upset.
You know what?
I wasn't upset.
What'd you get him?
I didn't get it just for him.
You got it. I know.
For us.
I know. I'm saying, what did you get?
Who's he?
What did you do to bring a smile to his face?
No, I can't eat this. I just trained tonight. I haven't even had my post-workout meal. Yeah, so
now we can enjoy our churros while we're on the podcast instead of gossiping.
I promise he didn't say anything about you when he left.
I will listen to the podcast and make sure.
Oh yeah.
I lost my train of thought when I seen these churros, the chocolate dip.
But it's true, man. It's honestly sad that this 11-year-old thinks that he's this adult that's experienced life and relationships and adulthood.
Take it forward a step, because I just remembered.
Yeah.
The athletes are falling victims to the online trolls. Some athletes are looking at the Instagram comments.
Serious?
Yeah,
man.
I know a friend. He's not a close friend, but he's a mutual friend and my friend. He goes to many professional athletes, and he'll message their Instagram bagging him out. Private message him, telling him you played shit on the weekend.
No,
you're so shit, you should be dropped. And he'll send it on our group.
Yeah.
Actively. One of the rugby league players, a couple of rugby league players, actually replied to him.
Saying what?
One of them offered him out in the park. I don't know if he's being serious.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking. They control their Instagram.
But I guess the point is that such a professional, that's an adult too, it gets to him so bad that he's willing to stoop that low.
I cannot say something. You know, some of these athletes are actually young.
They're young and sometimes they're spoiled too. So you can't take that back. Point is...
Look at the smile on his face.
Gossiping and cyberbullying, all that horrible stuff, man. People take it lightly. This year, I think 2 or 3 months ago, something like that, this lady, this wrestler, Japanese wrestler lady in her 20s, very famous, very rich, she suicided because of cyberbullying. There's people...
Sorry? How come I missed that? I didn't see that on the news. I look at wrestling news.
That was like 3 months ago, something like that. I don't know. Let me check.
She was a champion, wasn't she? Of the IWGP?
I I don't follow wrestling. I know this because I follow a lot of the sport news, but that's about it. Yeah, what's the name? Kimaru. I don't know, man. Anyhow, the point is cyberbullying does.
Japan wrestler.
Yeah, people spoke garbage about her and actually got to her because they're young. Some of these people are 20, 22, 23.
And their rise to fame is quick.
Yeah, exactly. And if they don't have...
Yeah, she's in a better situation maybe.
Man, sometimes you don't know how people are.
They become vulnerable.
Yeah. Sometimes the brain plays tricks on you where you think... And if you don't have the proper support system for when you're young... We were fortunate enough to have parents that make us snap out of it. Like, my mum's the type that, man, I got to give it to her. She was the type that if I'm down, she has a way where she makes me snap out of it, makes me feel silly. Wow. She immediately, as soon as I go to her to complain, instead of letting me complain and making me feel like a sook and, yeah, go on, how do you feel, honey? Yeah, go on, sook some more. No, as soon as I walk in, she'll say something and I'll be like, oh, man, I'm an idiot. I didn't even think about it like that. I feel so stupid that I should never said anything. I was fortunate enough to have that, but people that don't have that, their parents are the type, her mum talks about her dad's pissed off at her mum, and then they come to this garbage, people gossiping about them, talking about them, going to them DMs and telling them, you suck, you're ugly, man. What were you wearing? Are you serious?
As if you bombed that try on the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, they say
shit kicker, go back to reserve grade.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not joking.
Some people have the time of the day, don't they?
Yeah, they want to be one rugby league player offering him out in the park.
But what about when
he's in the COVID bubble? He can't leave.
What about when people do it at school to kids and they commit suicide?
Yeah, man, it's sad. It's what I'm saying. Sometimes the power of words is huge, and people take it. I don't think they know how powerful words are. Even if they're written, words are very powerful.
Some kids experience bullying and gossip at such a young age where their parents aren't aware of this, where their mental issues that they develop from a young age is due to bullying and gossip because they don't have the correct skill set in dealing with these issues. And this can lead to them going through their adult life. It can lead to them going into their adult life, into the workforce, and they still haven't been equipped with how to deal with gossip, how to deal
100%.
what do I do if someone looked at me at work and said, haha, you came late today. What's wrong with you?
You know what? And it's so bad. Like, how close are you guys? If you were to find out that he gossiped about you, I know that you probably say, oh, I don't care. I forgive him, whatever it is. I read that bother. And I know that you guys have the ability to rise above such a thing anyway.
I'll tell him to transfer $100 to my accountant.
Yeah, I know. There's always ways with
compensation.
Earnings, feelings. Yeah, Mustafa number one told me that you spoke about me today. Just
I won't even do it. You know that. But anyhow, let's say that usually it does affect relationships. Sometimes you see people that were best friends, they fall for that garbage, man. Instead of rising above it, like you said.
Especially, and I don't mean this in any wrong way to our female listeners, but especially if there's a female involved.
Yeah. Oh, between two guys, you mean?
Yeah. So they're best friends, and then the female gets involved.
Yeah.
And it's all over. The 30-year friendship has gone to an end.
Yeah.
Because, for example, the female would meet the other female of the other best friend, for example, and they don't get along. They just don't get along. So how does the other female want her man back? She'll talk about his best friend.
She'll drive him towards hating his friend.
And then when the man falls for that, it's over.
But see, that's when you have to be political. And you have to know right from wrong. Yeah, you have to know
about
right.
Politicians, Mr.
Yeah,
Politician.
Because I was looking at him. Because I can imagine him being political.
I don't know
in
how
a
to take this new label. I don't know.
It's not offensive, you know that.
All right, fine.
By the way, I'm not white, man.
Have one.
Just have one. No, it's, you know how good it smells? No, unlike you, I can't have one. I can't.
Why, are you sick?
No, if I have one, I'll go home and I'll order. I can't. I'm not.
They have one now because you're gonna go home and order anyway.
No. I'm not. I'm
gonna have this chocolate.
Shut up, Craig. Anyhow, so for example, you have to be political. If someone sits at talks about your friend, whatever it is, you have to know. So it happens amongst newly married couples. Sometimes they get married. The mother-in-law pisses the wife off. The wife, the first venting she's going to do is towards her husband. Look what your mum did. Look. So that's when he has to.
Wait, you're giving me anxiety.
No, but that's when might happen. It's not a must, man. It might happen. But if it does, this is when the man or the woman in that case, whoever experienced that, has to be the political one. and not react in a negative way, not react in a harsh way, not start gossiping about his mum, not going. So he has to handle things right. And I think like that goes back to what you said. If you never had the support system to teach you, this is how you handle such a matter, then you probably will go wrong about it, because you probably get affected emotionally and start having a go at your wife. What would you say about that about my mum? or the opposite, you start talking about your mum.
Would you think a solution for that would be, I've never been married before, but would you think if I were to be, the solution for that will be, whatever you see from my family, my mother, and whatever I see from your mother, we always need to find the positive out of it, and to just brush it off as if it hasn't happened and keep the relationships amicable. Do you find if you went down that path, the tolerance will increase and the smiles and the faces will remain, and it will avoid gossip between husband and wife about mothers?
You've got to remain the neutral person.
Do you get me?
Yeah, I think the person has to remain neutral. As soon as you take side once, that side is assumed the second time. So let's say the wife or the husband's gossiping their in-laws. If the partner, the spouse, takes side once, the second time that shit happens, that side is assumed. So now if he doesn't take that side, the fight's going to break out. Or if she doesn't take that side, the fight's going to break out. That's
What's
how
an
I
example?
I just did. If let's say they were just visited his parents.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
They left visiting his parents. His mum dropped a few words. Unbelievable.
How come you don't come anymore?
Whatever it is, no, she dropped towards the wife, not even towards her son.
How many times did I tell you to hold the bottle this way when you're feeding your child?
Whatever it is, something rude.
Hello,
that's a bit much. Yeah,
I don't know.
Take a slap.
This guy's been watching too many series.
The Indian ones. Yeah. Point is, if he doesn't react in a neutral way and tell her, how about this? He goes, don't talk to mum about my mum like that. How about maybe she missaid it. Maybe she didn't mean to say it like that. So he softens her heart, or she softens his heart. They will always have that. Oh, that's what I think. So it's a gossip. If he doesn't know how to control the gossip from day one, or she doesn't know how to control it,
he falls for it.
They're off to a bad start. Because you don't talk bad about your parents, man. That's a no-go zone. If a guy accepts that upon himself, or a female accepts that upon herself,
they don't respect their parents.
The last thing you want to get into is a war between you and your wife about my parents,
about
your parents. Yeah. That's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have a sick relationship between you and your in-laws anyway. There should be mutual respect.
It's more because there is that stigma about in-laws. They cause trouble. Or
what about every movie is about that now?
Man, there are tons and tons of.
No,
are they? Is it?
I wasn't being literal.
No, is there many movies about that?
Are you serious or what?
I don't
not about
movies.
that fact, but it's a common element in
like Meet the
Fockers.
Series.
Like what?
I was just going to give that example.
I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it?
What? No. That's funny.
Why is that?
Don't watch it.
Why is it funny?
Why would I watch it?
I don't know.
It's a funny movie.
Why? But I don't want to watch it
because it's about in-laws, but in a funny way.
Yeah, they had like 3 series after each other.
Oh yeah. Just watch
all about in-laws.
It sounds annoying. The series.
It's one
just
of
the name annoys me.
You know, one of these movies that it's just joke after joke and ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't do
but
that.
There's a storyline behind it. It's not like that scary. Remember Scary Movie?
No,
that's sarcastic. It's just sarcasm the whole way.
Oh, because they're imitating Scream.
Yeah, but I like that.
I've never watched it.
I love sarcastic movies.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can only watch movies now. I barely watch movies at all. But if it's a thriller movie,
let's check his Netflix account.
Yeah, you will. It's awful.
Does he share Netflix with you?
What?
Do you guys share Netflix?
No.
I have my own.
I have my own. Mine is for my mother, not for me. I don't really use it much.
I use my in-laws one. It's got Arabic subtitles every time I watch.
Oh, wait.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
it's actually smart.
What I was telling you is that
I didn't know you can put Arabic subtitles.
You can
on Netflix.
Bro, now half the library is Arabic now.
I'll just talk to myself now.
Actual Arabic movies in Arabic.
Yeah, they've got half of. I think half of the library now on Netflix is Arabic.
I wanted to watch Artugrul. Now I can watch it on
Artugrul, whatever it's called. Artugrul, what's it called? Yeah, it's on Netflix. You can have Arabic subtitles in case you
but I wanted Arabic in Arabic.
I know, subtitles.
But I wanted it in Arabic.
I can't help you, man. Contact Netflix. Tell them what's going on.
Because at least that way it'll be HD, consistent, clean.
What are you trying to say? Like, you only watch Netflix if it's HD?
No, I prefer to watch something if it's good quality and it's not going to cut out and it's consistent, because, you know, if you watch something off the internet, sometimes finding the episodes is difficult. So you'll find, for example, 37.
Are you paying for your episodes or?
No.
Oh, you?
I'm streaming
1 month free trial.
on Netflix.
No, from finding them on the internet. Are you pirating?
No, I'm not pirating. They're just websites available with the
episodes.
series. Yeah, it's not pirating. I'm not pirating. This guy.
It's like
Anyway.
my mum she buys a new phone. 2 days later, she gets to my phone's no good. I go, what are you? I look at it. She's gone to all these websites that do the Arabic all episodes and stuff like that. The viruses destroyed her phone from the second day. I get it. Mommy can't do that stuff anymore.
Why? Say it. Go say it.
I watched
The Bold and the Beautiful.
No. I used to watch that when I was young in primary.
Home and Away.
Yeah, I did.
You watch Home and Away?
When I was young in primary.
Once I visited him.
In primary.
He was watching The Bold and Beautiful.
I visited him.
I can see that. Oh, man, I can see
You get it now. You get it now, yeah?
Yeah.
You understand him now as a person.
I don't get what's happening.
I walked into his
A lot
house
of your
once.
personality is like
No.
I walked into it.
They all sleep with each other.
And I seen...
not saying that.
And I seen... I've never seen it before. I've never in my life watched Home and Away.
Yeah.
I've never ever had interest.
I had sisters.
And I walk in and this guy's sitting down and he's watching it. And I'm talking to him. I thought it's just on.
Yeah.
He's like, wait. And he's watching the series. I'm like, are you serious? He goes to me, yeah, bro. It's The Bold and the Beautiful.
I don't miss an episode.
I learned what The Bold and the Beautiful is because of him.
Man, I knew a guy, full rugged dude. I'm saying rugged, properly rugged dude. As in, you look at him, this guy's so rough. He's a tradie. He comes in, he's so dirty from work. He won't miss an episode of Home and Away. Not one. He's following it for years.
You know, sometimes
he's hooked.
it's the person's downtime.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's the best way to spend your time.
They escape reality through the show.
Yeah,
Literally.
You know what I got stuck on? Remember that show MASH?
I watched that as a child.
I've never watched it.
I got stuck on it for years.
I watched it as a child.
Are you
yeah.
serious?
MASH.
I memorized the episodes. Man.
You know what I tried to watch? Friends.
But watch MASH. MASH
No,
is
I can't do it. I can't do it. Just the intro of the helicopter.
and that music.
That on its own makes me not want to watch it.
Yeah, man, you know
I used to love the intro.
You know when I got stuck on it? I was like 15.
The main character was a strong actor.
Yeah.
Especially now because of
He's a big Hollywood actor.
especially now because of the quality of the acting
But
and
the storyline, I think,
the
is
story
a bit
different.
better than
I can't do it
now.
anymore. Now I'm sure that there are plenty of series with the same storyline.
Yeah,
Since everything's
they're
so
not the
repetitive,
same
I can
anymore.
find the movie somewhere else.
No.
But do you know what I was trying to tell you is that I don't like to get addicted to no series. I watch no series. I can't remember the last time I watched a series of anything, even movies. I don't like to be addicted to watching a show. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I don't want to feel like it's a burden on my life where I have to finish work and my subconscious is telling me to open Netflix and stay 3 hours binging on a show where 15 years ago you had to race to go to the bathroom to come back from the ad break. But now you can watch 17 shows in one night.
Man, it used to be more exciting back then. You actually used to be. I got hooked on
When you
MASH
have to watch
because
Dragon Ball Z.
No, I got hooked. Man, Dragon Ball Z was in the morning. I had to go run for school, catch a train.
Yeah, you have to watch it on Nickelodeon.
I didn't have Nickelodeon back
Not
then.
everyone afforded Nickelodeon.
Man,
It was free, wasn't
No,
it?
No, Nickelodeon was a Foxtel, man. I couldn't catch Dragon Ball Z. I had to sit there in the morning with the freaking every ad break every 2 seconds.
Are you serious?
So I'd watch 5 minutes. I'd have to run.
But they
catch
used
a
to
train.
play it again in the evening,
Yeah, but by
right
then-
before Maghrib prayer.
Yeah, but that was my MASH.
You know what
time.
it was called?
That's why.
Cheese TV.
Cheese TV,
Yeah,
that's
Cheese
it.
TV. After school, as a teenager, I'd come. Man, I'd sit down. Lunchtime, MASH time. This is my chillax time.
Lunchtime, mash time.
That's it. And that's how I got. But it used to be more fun because that was, like you said, my downtime. But now, if I have to do it on Netflix, it's like you said, I'll be so bad. I feel like I have to watch every episode fast.
I don't do it.
What next?
Because you want to know what's happening
And
next.
Netflix is telling me, are you still watching? Yes, I am.
I got asked recently, what do you watch on Netflix? I said nothing. I don't watch anything.
Delete the account. It's not
No,
free.
I'll watch a movie if it's a strong movie. I'll look at the trailer if it's a strong movie. I want downtime.
Netflix has no more strong movies, man.
Well, look-
Their library sucks. Sorry.
Look, there was a strong movie. It was a thriller. But now because of COVID, they're not producing many movies.
Yeah.
What's the movie?
Man,
What's wrong with you? What's the
I got hooked
I was
on-
about to say something, but
Say
you
it.
guys will say, "Nah, you're going down that road again."
Go, say it.
You know how Tom Hanks? There's rumors that he's a pedophile.
Oof.
But anyway, yeah, there's big talk that he's a pedophile in the conspiracy world. But
The conspiracy world.
yeah,
These guys have a certain, what are they?
He's got an underground world. He goes on his on his WhatsApp. There's a group that will probably
No.
I wonder what his avatar is.
no. Anyway,
Graham with a mask.
he was one of the first celebrities to contract COVID. Yeah, and he was in the Gold
Supposedly, you mean?
Coast. Yeah, when he was in the Gold Coast.
I remember that.
Yeah. So guess what's happened
I
now?
followed his page because I wanted to see what happens next.
He would have gained a lot of followers
Following?
because of that. Yeah. Anyway, he was all over the news. Tom Hanks is COVID. He went back to America. Aren't the borders restricted?
Yeah.
Quarantine. The Premier of Queensland in the court, not the courtroom. What do they call it? The politician room.
Yeah.
What do they call it? The chamber when they talk.
Whatever.
Parliament. The
Yeah.
Parliament.
Yeah.
Queensland Parliament. So the opposition was telling her just now, how did you just allow the production company to enter the Gold Coast and to quarantine in the most expensive hotel, and they go walkabouts and they do their own thing, to produce a movie in the Gold Coast when there's a lady who was trying to give birth across the border, and I think she lost her baby because she couldn't cross the border because she has no permit.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
something.
no.
You know what her answer was? They're bringing $200 million of revenue into the Gold Coast.
Yeah, for sure. Man, don't hold it against her as if she's the worst. I think if that scenario was to happen with each and every state and each and every country, they'd have done the same thing.
But look at
And I
just
kid you
the...
not, I don't see any other politician doing anything other than that, except if Halbuni was a politician, he would do other than that. But every
Halbuni for president.
Halbuni 2021.
If I ever do become a president or a prime
That's
minister,
for him as an advisor. He'll come late.
I was gonna say I'll do it on the condition that you guys are by my side.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
But can I...
as
joke?
long as he
This
doesn't
is
come
just
late.
a joke. This is just a joke.
Here we go.
If I was his advisor,
Yeah.
we're talking about... Not in a bad way. I'd find the way
Yeah.
to relieve him of his duties.
He would. Because he'll be jealous. Why did he get picked?
I'll somehow find myself being kicked out of presidency,
And you're the
and he's being
advisor.
signed in.
You're the cleaner.
Yeah,
And I'll say the president has allocated me to talk on his behalf.
take over all his roles and responsibilities.
Speaking of elections, I don't want to talk about this at all.
Yeah.
And don't mention it.
No, but just slightly.
Okay.
Do you know what's so weird?
What?
Other than when there's an American election year, something happens around the world. But
Are we in
dramatic.
an American?
Yeah, right now. Joe Biden,
That's
who's
why.
about 95 years old, he's going against Donald Trump, who's very witty with his tongue. Like he'll just in the
I'll just
roasting,
blast you.
he'll just he calls him Silly Joe. Who would have thought that in 2020, in an American election year,
They've got the
you'd be
stupidest campaigns.
hearing Trump being president, calling the opposition Sleepy Joe, because he's accusing him of having dementia.
Oh no!
Yeah, what about Joe Biden? He goes out publicly and makes an ad on TV. He says, what did he say? He said, "You're not truly black if you don't vote for me."
Yeah.
Are you serious?
In
America?
over there, they're that stupid.
In America,
It's the stupidest campaigns.
it's crazy now. He's calling him in his campaign Sleepy Joe.
Didn't you see what he was saying to Hillary Clinton during his?
Yeah, he told her, I'll
election?
put you in jail.
Even more than that.
Well,
Haven't you seen the videos?
yeah, which one? But
Heaps. There were too many. He's just savage. He's actually
Yeah.
savage.
He's got no filter.
But
He's not. He's
gone
he's
against the grain of
he's
what it-
very contradictory,
yeah.
and I don't think he's had a single. What do they call it when he gives a press conference? No, like, not the press conference. Something else. When he gives a statement.
yeah, that's in the White House when he comes on to meet the press.
Yeah.
A press statement.
Whenever he gives those statements, because I was watching a little series, I don't think he's ever had a continuous statement without being contradictory of his statement.
But I don't know if that's purposeful, man.
Look,
I'm starting to think it's purposeful.
don't get into the whole first world order like Mustafa.
No,
Karim,
no, no.
because
New
yeah,
world
look,
order.
No, not like that purposeful. What I'm trying to say about purposeful is that
He wants to seem stupid?
it gains attention and to his followers that think like him, they think he's right. So what happens is they think he's right, and he's just gaining more attention and more attention by the media and more. So it's sort of what happens to a lot of the companies. They say any press
media
is good press.
Good publicity. Any publicity is good publicity.
That's what they say. So that's what happens in this case. I feel like because he knows that his followers are going to pick and choose what they hear.
Of course, when you look
So
at
he feels
CNN,
like, and the majority are still on his side. They're expecting that he's going to win again.
You think so?
That's what they're versing.
You know, if he does win again, his savageness is going to triple.
He'll be the oldest president ever. In I think he'll have the record as being the oldest elected president or re-elected president ever. Older by age. Do you know Sleepy Joe? The reason why he calls him Sleepy Joe, because the guy's about 95 years old. He looks like he's going to collapse. He's been in Parliament for over 30 or 40 years. He was with Obama. Anyway, he's tried to become president previously. He will go on to talk, and this is what he said recently. So when you put 32% tax bracket cut, it goes down to 36%. And then that 32, and it did not make sense. Sky News in Australia tore him apart. And then Trump will just come out blatantly and say, yeah, Sleepy Joe.
What do you expect? But that's campaigning for you, though.
Sleepy Joe, you're calling the person running against you.
But they would have never done that back in the past. They
No
would have felt
way.
like that's
That would have
disrespectful.
been politically correct. But this guy is not politically correct whatsoever.
But that's because Donald Trump has taken it to a different level and made it okay.
Yeah, he's normalised that behaviour.
At the same time, have you noticed that trend? I feel like it's very stupid. Every politician, including our countries, man, when I was in Lebanon, I kid you not, they had a list of all the politicians that are going up running for whatever they're running for. Most of them were over the age of 80.
And most of them
But I feel like, how out of touch with society are you? What would you get? Like, I don't even know why they let a president be president.
There's some cluey 80-year-olds.
There are, but I'm talking about the majority now. The majority,
the Lebanese prime minister is about 95 years old.
Bloke's out of touch with humanity. I don't know who deals with donkeys, but the point is, these people are not in touch with society. They haven't been for a very long time. They've been rich for a very long time. They don't know how humans work. They don't know what the society is. It's like, I feel like, man, just elect someone younger. Why are you guys going for someone so old?
I don't know how that country, what's going to happen after this election year.
It's a whole anyway.
Like when you have Facebook coming out and saying that any results that are posted prior to the election results being submitted, we're going to put a note on Facebook, and we're going to, you know how there's a COVID thing?
Yeah, they're going to do the same.
They're going to censor it.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg blatantly said that.
Yeah,
About Lebanon.
About
no.
About what?
The US.
the American
US
election.
Oh, I was going to say, what the heck?
That'd be surprised.
And you know that approach that Trump's doing, you know, a lot of other politicians are doing it, like Dan Andrews, when he got grilled recently about the curfew, because Melbourne now have a curfew.
That guy has been on the barbecue for the past month.
He told the reporter, no, I'm talking, let me finish. And he just attacked that. So that's another issue. We don't want to go down there. Our hearts go to all our Melbourne listeners who are
Melburnians
under strict curfew, and hopefully it gets alleviated soon. It's not easy told that you can't leave the house after 8 p.m.
They said they're gonna
Lift the curfew.
lift it, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're in a state of emergency.
So what does that even do?
I don't know what are they gonna do, because I think
What does it do if you're able to go out all day and spread the virus all day?
No, but they can't be out of the house only for 1 hour of exercise. They have drones going around the streets.
Yeah,
This is called mass population control.
Don't start him off. We'll be here till 12 o'clock.
It's mass population control. You have to say it the way it is.
Dan Andrews is a draconian leader running the state as if it was a communist country.
Is he really a draconian leader?
He's running a draconian state.
Yeah, well, he's acting like he is.
Can I ask, why is it turned like that? In the past, it used to be a country as a whole. Now, every country in the world, that they dealt with this pandemic as state versus state versus state, and they blame each other. So let's say shit happens somewhere, the one state turns to go, you've handled it all wrong. Look at us.
It's become a fiasco.
Yeah, like, look at the US. As soon as the state falls apart, even the president goes, "Oh, your mayor and your state leaders are pieces of
Yeah, but
garbage.
his country's being torn to shreds.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but they say that the employment rate is the highest it's ever been in America. I don't know if it's true.
Employment?
Yeah, the rate, it's been the highest.
Well, they're working very hard to spread COVID, aren't they?
Anyhow,
I can't wait for the intro.
I can't wait either.
Should we have an outro?
We definitely should.
An outro.
I think so.
Okay, I'll get an outro.
Look at Ayubi, he's falling asleep.
No, I'm all right.
No, he's thinking of the intro.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Short Sticks podcast.
As long as the intro hasn't got his voice.
No, I was just going to tell you, can it have my voice?
No.
Who records it? Him, the actual bloke?
I can't reveal. It's a surprise.
Why do you talk about feedback on the group then if you can't reveal? Well, why do you want to end the podcast? Why?
No comment. He's not ready to comment.
We'll see you all next week for another show.
Another lovely episode of Who is Mustafa Karim?
And the battle of the outros begin.
Bro, what's wrong with you?
Not going to end it, Graham? No.
Why?
I gave you the gold plate.
Nah,
On a platter of gold.
I'm just going to stare at that last churro in the box.
Just have it.
Might as well. I ate the chocolate. I ate all of the entire box except for one.
Hopefully by next week, whoever's still hearing this part of the show,
Yeah.
you're a legend. We
That's it.
thank you. You're a mark.
We're all over the place.
You've stuck to the end of the show.
Have you seen the flags?
Mm-hmm.
Seen the statistics are saying we've got people listening from around the world.
Oh, yeah,
What was the flag you sent me? I'm trying to see.
Switzerland, Germany, Lebanon.
So surprised. That's so nice. You still got that flag? I'm trying to look for it.
We have people, okay, according to the analytics,
Yeah.
we have people listening in the United Kingdom,
UK fans.
United States, Philippines, Canada,
Mm-hmm.
Sweden.
Yes.
We thank you. We thank all of you.
Thank you for listening to the Short Sticks podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Short Sticks. Leave a comment and like and share the love. Until next time.